Hi everybody, good afternoon. Welcome. Josh and I are doing our very first live broadcast to Facebook Live. And so we're looking forward to maybe 15 or 20 minutes, a little discussion.
Give or take, yeah.
We're not going to call it the Challenge Dave 20 minutes, are we?
We'll see by the end of it anyways.
That would make a lot more sense if you were party to the discussions as we were getting set up today. Anyways, we have a short agenda that we'd like to go through. And first, a bit of housekeeping. The very first thing is we're all set up to do live Q&A through our slide deck. So visit CAYK.live/chat, CAYK.live/chat, and join us with your questions. And I'll keep an eye on it over here on this monitor over here and see what you're asking, and we'll answer. So that's first thing of housekeeping. Of course, you're welcome to also share our live broadcast on your wall. So if you are connected to like-minded individuals who might find what we're going to talk about interesting, we're going to geek out about stuff digital, of course. It's where we live and breathe, and see where it all leads us.
Yep.
So anyways, make sure you join us at the chat. The shortened URLs will stay on the screen during our talk, but go ahead and join us. So here's, sorry, let me just get that slide up there for you. So live Q&A is at CAYK.live/chat, and or at the shortened Google URL at the top of my slides today. And I'll try and leave that on screen for you. And so without further ado, let's remind you one more time to share our post with the live stream on your wall today. That would be great. Give us a little bit more reach, and share some of what we have to say to your friends and colleagues. So, Friday,
yeah. 3:04, almost end of the week.
and we committed to going live at 3 p.m. on Friday, so it's not bad. We're good there. Punctuality is important. The very first thing we're going to talk about is our
Top-level domain names.
Yep, thanks.
Yeah.
So actually, why don't you start off?
Yeah. Top-level domain names are like the whatever comes after the dot for any website address, the .com or the .ca. In the history of the internet, there's been pretty steady growth, more recently exponential growth in the number, the volume, and really the creativity of those top-level domain names. And this little portion is to review that. I think we're over 1,000 of them now. Most people can name maybe 7, com, ca, net, org, but over 1,000 at this point. It's kind of a milestone, I think.
The total 1,000 top-level domain names too also includes country-specific domain names that we've learned, like .uk, .ca, so on and so forth.
DE, Denmark.
Right, yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
now, the ones that really I find quite interesting, and for a number of reasons, like the more benign ones that are cool and interesting, like .dentist, .dental, .accountants. These are all really kind of interesting, and they're going to give us the ability to spin out, greater web presence for people to get that kind of designation into their top-level domain name.
Yeah, and those ones, the kind of more benign ones, are referred to as generic top-level domain names, I think, as opposed to the country ones. But yeah, the reason there's so many of these, of course, is every domain name is unique to one website or one set of properties online. So in general, I mean, we're running out of .coms at this point for sure, and that expansion of volume of top-level domains means an exponential expansion in the number of web properties we can have too. So it's likely to keep growing if nothing else. But
it also, though, some of these new top-level domain names, and just in general, the multitude of top-level domain names, is also creating a new suspicious air of extortion online, where in particular, probably the more controversial of top-level domain names that was launched recently is the .sucks domain name. So if you could envisage your brand .sucks as a web address, of course the compulsion of business owners has got to be, I should own that domain name so that no other evil, nasty people can own it and use it to extort me later on. The unfortunate part of of this is that extortionists aren't always kind, and so initially during the sort of the sunrise period of the .sucks domain name period, where trademark holders could actually go and get ownership of their domain before the evil, nasty bastards in the planet could go out and get it, the cost was substantial, like thousands of dollars to buy your brand.sucks during sunrise. So a lot of small businesses particularly would say, well, I'm not going to afford it. I choose not to. And so now they're out of sunrise, and now all of the internet trolls can buy .sucks. Save one thing, is that .sucks is still really quite expensive, into the tune of almost $300 per year to register .sucks, until of course just recently when they all went on sale for less than $20 per first year registration. And so now the internet trolls can go out and own your brand.sucks for $20, but I guess the saving grace is that after 1 year they have to pay that full price again.
Right, so most of them will let it go. But even then it just roots itself back into that that extortion type setup where no other domain that I'm aware of, I'm sure there's maybe a few of them out there, but $300 for any domain it's extremely steep by domain pricing standards, and there, I mean, why would you charge so much more for this domain other than knowing that you're putting a wrench in people's business processes, right? It's the only reason to charge so much is you know that they're going to feel pressured to buy it. And that, again, that's what we call extortion, right? Pressure to buy something you don't really need.
Exactly. So let's move on to the next topic, Josh. We know now there are literally thousands of domains available and different variations, and it's kind of fun.
Some of it's kind of weird too. .horse.
Oh yeah.
You know, like
Giddy up.
there's a bunch of them. .beer is one that I don't know. I'm sure there's uses for it, right?
Well, it caught your eye.
It did. Yeah. Well. Yeah. Yeah.
We live in the era of the microbrew, so why not my .beer? All right, let's talk about AMP, Accelerated Mobile Pages. Tell me what you know about AMP, Josh.
Oh yeah, it's a new scripting standard for websites that essentially feeds content directly to search engines and whoever else wants access to it, with the intent of allowing them to cache the content so that they can serve it to mobile users extremely quickly. Like within a fraction of a second quickly through something fancy called a content distribution network. If you don't know what that is, don't worry about it. But long story short, content lightning quick for mobile users.
Well, and so I'll try to put that in plain speak too, because this is really interesting stuff. But by marking up a web page with AMP to make it AMP friendly, is basically giving permission to third parties like Google to basically copy your content and then serve it from their own infrastructure, which makes it extremely quick. And it also supports what I've been sort of saying and predicting for probably the last 5 or 8 years, again, that eventually our websites that we're designing and developing will serve the purpose primarily of pushing data out to the actual networks that are going to be serving it up. And of course Google is formidable in this regard. A lot of information that Google is curating, Google is now pushing back to people in the form of alerts on their phone or cards on the Android operating system.
Or in the Google search results down the sidebar there, yeah.
The feature cards coming up in search, all that stuff. Google My Business is another one that's being validated by data that we're sharing out on the internet. So anyways, the thing that's important to recognize about AMP is that we're still bleeding edge, very early in terms of the general adoption, because these things take time to roll out, and obviously considerable investment of energy. And but like any of these initiatives that Google is supporting and sponsoring, we have to know the writings on the wall that eventually this is going to become a very important part of Google's search algorithm. And already declaratively, we're seeing that AMP pages are performing extremely well when people are searching with their mobile devices. That's where they're intended to serve anyways. And so this is a boat we don't want to miss.
That's right.
Yeah. Let's talk about our next topic. Before we do, I just remind everyone at the top of the slides is that shortened URL. If you have any questions at all, go ahead and shoot them in, and I will I'll try to answer them to the best of our capabilities. And so have fun. The next time we go live, we're going to experiment with actually letting people join us. We may have a guest or two come in and join us on a Google Hangout too. So that'll be kind of fun. But anyways, let's talk now, Josh, about our recent MSI experience. So do you want me to start? Or
I can start.
I could rant.
Yeah, that's good. We both have our new laptops and new-ish laptops in front of us, MSI branded for both. This slide really it speaks to our process, not of purchasing, but what came after we purchased these laptops. And it's been a while since I bought a laptop before this one, and I've never remembered a process that's gone this particular manner. And how about that be my segue to you?
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Hello, I am a Mac user, but I grew up in the world of PC. So with the time to upgrade my hardware recently, I decided to switch back to a PC because I'm a bit of a geek. I wanted to just go back and try the Windows operating system out again.
And before we go too far, I've always used a PC from day one, and I had the exact same issues that we'll talk about in a minute here.
Well, I think you found it more unbelievable than me, though, because I bought my MSI laptop and I immediately traveled with it, so I couldn't do anything. I was scared to death that if I tried to fix what was bothering me, I would put myself out of business. So I had to live with it for three weeks. Now, here's the thing. If you Google search MSI laptop bloatware, you're going to find that what we missed in our buying experience, we didn't do that research. We bought laptops with really high specs, great processors, big hard drives, lots of speed, and we're looking for powerful laptops to do things like this live stream, for example. What we didn't realize is that MSI hijacks the Windows operating system experience. So where Microsoft and their engineers have developed an operating system with usability and user friendliness and all this stuff in mind, then a company like MSI that is a hardware producer comes along, produces hardware, installs the Microsoft operating system, and then fills it up with a bunch of crap bloatware that slows the computer down and hijacks the user experience to the point where I could have spat blood some days when I first started using my new MSI.
And I thought it was the funniest thing until I bought one too, and it was pretty painful actually. Yeah. Like some of the bloatware is important for some of the fancy functionality of the laptop's hardware, like its actual software for the laptop. Big portions of it, though, are conveniences that have been added to try and help the user experience that really do quite the opposite. And when Dave says hijack, it quite literally is moving your mouse for you and updating window sizes to off sizes from what you would expect. Like this odd behavior that it took both of us working together to track down individual pieces of software. I, at one point, removed all of the MSI software from my computer just to find out that it made half the hardware not work. So you have to sift through each and every one of something like 30 different pieces of software, figure out what each line item does, and then choose whether or not it's important enough to keep. And that's just not a user-friendly process, is it? I mean, Dave and I, we have the skill set and the know-how to figure that out and to go line item by line item, but it's still hugely time-consuming, and you got to think many people who are buying these laptops potentially don't have that knowledge or that skill set, and they're potentially just screwed moving forward. They're stuck with.
You said screwed.
Well, you said bastard earlier.
Oh. Here's the thing. I can't imagine if I bought a laptop like this and gave it to my mother or my father, they would hate my guts forever. And so fortunately for MSI, I'm not bitter and I'll get over it. But and I'm not going to write a bunch of negative reviews online either, but be forewarned, powerful hardware, great looking hardware, but that bloatware has got to go. And I think maybe that has to come from a Microsoft level down so that vendors don't do that. We're going to move on to our next topic.
I was going to mention too, the MSI brand probably isn't aimed at your parents
Probably
either.
not. Yeah, of course.
So there is potentially that if I were to try and argue with our own points, it would be that we are the right demographic for the targeting of this company. If nothing else, by virtue of our buying decisions, that speaks volumes in that regard.
Right.
So likely of that demographic, it's probably the one best suited to deal with those hurdles. But even then, it's not something that any customer should go through in the first place.
Right, exactly. So we're because it's our first Facebook Live, we just want to do a really quick kind of fun contest. And you have an opportunity to win if you're one of the handful of people that are watching live, because after once this is just a recorded archive, there's no more game, okay? So during the live contest right now, you have the opportunity to win a Starbucks card, which I will email to you because technology is cool and we can do that. So here's how you're going to enter to win. Right now, you're going to open up a URL and go to CAYK.click/chat. CAYK.click/chat. So everybody go ahead. You're watching live. Open up a web browser. CAYK.click/chat. Load up the browser. You're going to see a little chat window, a Q&A window. It's going to come up. It's going to look something like this. And you're going to get ready to answer in where it says ask a question. You're going to enter in your answer to the contest question. All right, so everybody's clear? Open browser, CAYK.click/chat. Get ready to answer the question. Now you have until the end of today's live stream, which will probably be another 10 minutes maybe, to answer the question. The very first correct answer that comes in through the ask a question function will win the $30 card. Cool?
Cool.
Okay, so let's watch. The question is,
Well, what is the maximum number of characters permitted for a domain name? Your microphone is right in the way to read that.
okay,
Maximum character count for a domain name. Top level.
Yep,
Or
what's-
top level or total domain?
domain name.
Domain name.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Domain name. So yeah, what's the maximum characters? Okay, so we'll see who. Hey, Claudette, how are you? Claudette's online there. Cool. So go ahead and answer that question, and we'll see who gets the Starbucks card. If I can announce the winner at the end of the live stream, I will. If not, we will. We'll follow up soon afterwards and post on Facebook who the winner is. Okay. So next topic is workplace. New push by Facebook.
I'll be upfront about saying I didn't sit through the presentation on this one. It was actually Danielle and Dave. So I'll let you do the description on this one, Dave.
Sure. Well, Workplace by Facebook is a new initiative. It's sort of in beta. They're inviting clusters of business owners to sign up and then bring their companies onto the Facebook platform. Now, when we sat through their webinar, we enrolled, and I was kind of excited. I thought, maybe there will be some business process tools in there, things like project management or like task management.
You hoped for what you wanted, basically.
I hoped for what I wanted because, we end up now in today's world of software as a service, we're adopting multiple different tools to serve all these little needs. So like task management and then project management and then
Sales
of course
management.
email, sales management, so on and so forth. And that's all fine and dandy. The problem is at $25 per user per month, you get 15 or 20 software as a service groups going. It can be pretty freaking expensive,
Yep.
especially if you're a technology-based company like us, and we just need to use some of these solutions. Now, Facebook Workplace for Facebook it's just Facebook. It was Facebook. It was centric around groups. So you register all your employees, you get all the groups, and then people spend more time on Facebook. Now, granted, it would probably be professional, which is great, and I could see it being really valuable to a company like a big organization with lots of small groups.
That didn't already have a solution in place, I think is the key.
Yeah,
right?
maybe if they didn't have a solution in place, or if they wanted to adopt something that's easily adopted.
Mm-hmm.
So I could see a big company like an airline adopting this, so that all their employees around the world could have a place to go and collaborate. And they are piecing together different tools currently. So Workplace would be a great tool for a bigger enterprise. businesses in the, solopreneur, well, solopreneur would be bored because it wouldn't be very social all by themselves, would it?
No.
But small businesses, 3-5 people, I just don't know. I mean, if you're working in the same office, just chatting's cool. So
Yeah, pretty much.
anyways, my jury's out. I don't want to say Workplace by Facebook is not a place to explore. I think it's interesting, and if they evolve it and start adding functionality, that'd be cool. I mean, they've added in, of course, the Facebook chat and the video chat and the phone chat. All of that's integrated just like it is in the regular Facebook platform.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're already using Microsoft 360 and you have Skype, then you've got that covered. If you're using the G Suite or Google Apps, you've got Google Hangouts, you've got Google Chat. Allo, I heard today in some reading that it's going to go mainstream and become web browser based. So really, we're kind of, it's almost overwhelming the number of solutions available to do this kind of collaboration. So pick your battle.
And pick your software.
Pick your software. So hey, now let me just check. I'm ranting on here. A couple of anonymous users there. We've got one response back for our contest, which is cool. And so let's go on to our next topic, and then we'll see. Okay. Oh, that's it. Hey, that's what we had planned.
Perfect.
Yeah, we want to kind of keep it succinct, although I just kind of feel comfortable. I want to keep going.
Yeah, well, any other topics you want to cover off the cuff?
No, yeah. I love improvising live on the internet. I'm not as good at it as some people. Next CAYK.live, we've tentatively planned, and I say that because things change, but we've tentatively planned to talk about conversion rate optimization.
That's right.
Something that we spent an awful lot of time working on and reviewing and discussing and innovating on. We're going to talk about SSL, Secure Socket Layer, which is really, it's technical, but everybody that owns a website or wants to own a website needs to understand what SSL is and why it's become so important. And then the last point we're going to talk about, Josh, is Google My Business.
That's right.
Right. Just testing to make sure you're still paying
Well,
attention.
I'm awake, but that mic is right where I want to look, so we'll sort that out for next time.
And it is 3:25, so and Friday, so to wind down would be okay. All right. So let me just check, see if anybody else has joined us here. No other questions, no other answers. That's fine. Here's the answer to today's little contest. 253 characters. The length of any one label is limited in between 1 and 63 octets. A full domain name is limited to 255 octets. Gosh, that's like somebody's going to name their business that. 253 characters is the limit, and Claudette, you got it. You got the right answer. So there it is right there. There's Claudette's answer, 253. So cool. Congratulations. We love that. And ladies and gentlemen, folks, thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Yeah.
It was fun. Painless.
Painless, absolutely.
Okay. Signing out. Cheers. Bye, everybody.